The golden years. It's a phrase that conjures images of serene sunsets, cherished moments with loved ones, and the quiet satisfaction of a life well lived. For decades, you've navigated careers, raised families, and built foundations, perhaps dreaming of a time when the relentless demands of the world would finally soften into gentle whispers. You envisioned leisurely mornings, pursuits of long-held passions, and the profound peace that comes with earned wisdom. But for countless individuals, that idyllic vision remains tantalizingly out of reach, shadowed by a silent, often unspoken truth. The profound, sometimes debilitating, drain of energy from within our own families. It's a paradox, isn't it? The very people we love, for whom we've sacrificed so much, can inadvertently become sources of significant emotional and mental depletion. You cherish them, of course, with a love that runs deep through the roots of your being. Yet there are moments, aren't there? Moments when the weight of their expectations, their crises, their emotional needs feels like a heavy cloak settling over your shoulders, muffling your joy, dimming your spirit, and leaving you utterly exhausted. This isn't about blaming, it's about acknowledging a complex reality. It's about the quiet exhaustion after an emotionally charged phone call, the guilt that pricks when you long for solitude, or the subtle weariness from constantly navigating complex family dynamics. This isn't just about feeling tired in your bones, it's about the erosion of your well-being, the slow surrender of your precious autonomy, and the diminishing capacity to truly savor the life you've worked so hard to build. You deserve more than to feel constantly depleted, constantly reacting, constantly pouring from an empty cup. You deserve the peace you've earned. Today, we're not just observing this challenge, we're confronting it head-on. We'll turn to an ancient wisdom, a philosophy born from resilience and forged in the crucible of human experience, yet remarkably profoundly relevant to our modern lives and the unique challenges faced in our golden years. Stoicism. Forget any misconceptions you might have about Stoicism being about emotionlessness or cold detachment. That couldn't be further from the truth. Instead, Stoicism is a profound practical framework for mastering your inner world, for cultivating an unshakable inner peace, so that external forces, even those as intimately connected as our loved ones, no longer have the power to dictate your tranquility. This isn't about severing ties or building walls around your heart. It's about building an inner fortress, a sanctuary of calm that allows you to engage with the world and with your family from a place of strength, wisdom, and sustained energy. We're going to explore 5 powerful, transformative Stoic strategies designed to help you reclaim your precious energy, maintain your serenity, and truly thrive in your later years, all without sacrificing the deep, meaningful bonds that truly matter. These aren't just abstract ideas, they are actionable pathways to a more peaceful and fulfilling existence. If you find yourself nodding along, if the echoes of these challenges resonate deep within your own experience, then you are in the right place. This journey towards a more resilient mind, profound inner peace, and genuine happiness is a path worth walking. I invite you to join us. Make sure to subscribe to the Stoic Philosophy channel right now. By doing so, you'll gain access to more transformative videos like this one, designed to equip your mind with the tools for strength, serenity, and enduring happiness. Don't let anything drain your spirit. Empower your mind and live the peaceful life you deserve. Let's begin. Now let's talk about the raw, often uncomfortable truth of what this energy drain actually looks like in our daily lives. Think about it for a moment. It's not always a dramatic shouting match or a catastrophic family feud. More often, it's a slow erosion, a drip-by-drip depletion, almost imperceptible until you realize your well has run dry. It's the endless phone calls from an adult child, not to check in on your well-being, but to recount their latest crisis, seeking emotional rescue or financial assistance, leaving you feeling like a perennial problem solver or a bottomless ATM. You listen, you advise, you often internalize their struggles, and by the time you hang up, you're left with a subtle but undeniable ache of exhaustion. Then there are the unspoken expectations, the implicit understanding that you're always available, always the go-to, always the one who will smooth things over. Perhaps it's the expectation that you'll babysit on demand, or host every holiday gathering, or manage complex logistical arrangements for extended family, even when your own energy reserves are critically low. You might feel a subtle pressure, a quiet guilt at the mere thought of saying no, convinced that your refusal will be met with disappointment, or worse, perceived as a lack of love or commitment. This feeling of being constantly on call, of having your boundaries perpetually nudged, slowly but surely chips away at your sense of peace and your precious personal time. And let's not forget the occasional family drama that pulls you into its vortex. A disagreement between siblings, a misunderstanding with a grandchild, a long simmering resentment bubbling to the surface. Suddenly, you find yourself reluctantly cast in the role of mediator, confidant, or even unwilling referee. You're expected to take sides, offer solutions, or simply absorb the emotional fallout, often sacrificing your own tranquility in the process. Each such incident, no matter how seemingly minor, extracts a toll. It's like being caught in a swirling current, where you expend immense energy just trying to stay afloat, rather than simply enjoying the calm waters you so richly deserve. Consider the scenario where children or grandchildren, perhaps still finding their footing in life, always seem to need just one more thing. It could be help with a sudden expense, a ride across town, a quick fix for a household problem, or simply constant emotional validation. While love compels us to help, the relentless, often unreciprocated nature of these demands can transform acts of kindness into burdens. You find yourself saying yes when every fiber of your being longs to say no, feeling that familiar pang of guilt if you even consider prioritizing your own peace. This constant giving, without adequate replenishment, leads to a profound sense of depletion, not just of energy, but of spirit. This isn't just about feeling physically tired. It's about a deeper, more insidious erosion of your well-being, your autonomy, and your ability to live a life truly aligned with your values. You might start to notice that your hobbies fall by the wayside, your social engagements dwindle, and even simple moments of quiet reflection become a luxury you can barely afford. The vibrant colors of your golden years begin to fade, replaced by a duller palette of obligation and fatigue. You might find yourself dreading phone calls, avoiding certain topics, or even making excuses to limit interactions, all in a desperate, often subconscious attempt to protect the dwindling embers of your personal energy. The profound challenge here lies in the inherent conflict between deep love and genuine self-preservation. How do you remain a loving, supportive family member without becoming a casualty of their needs? How do you set healthy boundaries without feeling like you're abandoning those you care for most? This struggle is real, it's pervasive, and it's one that countless individuals in their prime years quietly endure. You've spent a lifetime nurturing, building, and contributing. Now, it's your turn to reclaim your peace, to safeguard your spirit, and to ensure that the final chapters of your life are written with intentionality, joy, and profound tranquility, rather than dictated by the endless demands of others. It's time to learn how to be truly present and loving, without being perpetually drained. The Stoic Compass, navigating family dynamics with unshakable peace. We've acknowledged the silent drain, the subtle erosion of our vital energy by the very bonds we cherish most. But acknowledging the problem is only the first step. The true power lies in finding the solution, in equipping ourselves with the wisdom to navigate these complex emotional landscapes. This is where Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that has guided countless souls through life's most turbulent waters, becomes our most trusted compass. It doesn't promise a life free of challenges, for life by its very nature is a series of waves. What Stoicism offers is the profound ability to become a master sailor, to steer your vessel with unwavering calm, even when the family seas grow choppy. This section isn't just about understanding Stoic concepts, it's about embodying them. It's about transforming abstract ideas into practical, actionable strategies that you can weave into the fabric of your daily interactions. Think of these 5 principles as essential tools in your emotional toolkit, each one designed to help you reclaim your peace, protect your energy, and foster healthier, more sustainable relationships with your loved ones. We're not aiming for cold detachment, but for warm, resilient engagement. We're seeking to cultivate a profound inner strength that allows you to give generously from a full cup, rather than constantly pouring from an empty one. Each strategy builds upon the last, forming a powerful framework for a life lived with greater serenity, purpose, and genuine joy, especially in these precious golden years. Let's embark on this journey of inner mastery, one profound principle at a time. Part 1. The Art of Discernment. Mastering the dichotomy of control. Imagine, for a moment, standing before a vast, churning ocean. You might wish the waves were calmer, the currents less strong, the horizon clearer. You might even try to command the tide to recede. But no matter how fervently you wish, how desperately you exert yourself, the ocean will remain indifferent to your desires. This vivid image perfectly illustrates the Stoic concept of the dichotomy of control. Some things are entirely within our power, and an overwhelming majority are not. This isn't a lesson in resignation, it's a profound revelation in liberation. In the context of family dynamics, this principle becomes an indispensable guide, a beacon in the often murky waters of interpersonal relationships. How often do we find ourselves agonizing over a grown child's choices, their financial struggles, their relationship woes? How frequently do we lose sleep over a sibling's stubbornness, a grandchild's rebellious phase, or a spouse's unchangeable habits? We offer advice, we plead, we worry, we intervene, often to no avail. And with each futile attempt to steer their ship, we exhaust our own precious fuel. This is the energy drain in its purest form, trying to control the uncontrollable. Stoic wisdom urges us to draw a clear, unwavering line. What falls within your sphere of influence? Your thoughts, your judgments, your attitudes, your intentions, your reactions, your boundaries, your efforts, your virtues. These are your sovereign territory. This is where your true power lies. What falls outside? The weather, the past, the future, other people's opinions, other people's actions, other people's emotions, their choices, their character. These are beyond your direct command. Consider the emotional vortex created when an adult child makes a decision you vehemently disagree with, perhaps a career path you deem unstable, or a romantic partner you don't approve of. Your initial instinct might be to argue, to persuade, to warn, to fret. But the Stoic asks, is their choice truly within your control? Can you force them to change their mind? The answer, however painful, is no. What is within your control is your reaction. You can choose to express your concern calmly and lovingly without attachment to the outcome. You can choose to set a boundary if their choices directly impact your well-being. You can choose to accept their autonomy, even if it brings you discomfort. This isn't about apathy, it's about acknowledging reality and preserving your inner peace. Think of the countless hours spent replaying a family argument in your mind, dissecting every word, every nuance, wishing you had said something different, or that they had reacted differently. The argument itself is in the past, firmly outside your control. Their reaction was theirs, not yours to command. What remains within your power is how you choose to process it now. Do you allow it to fester, poisoning your present moments? Or do you acknowledge the event, learn any lessons, and then consciously release the emotional charge, recognizing that dwelling on the uncontrollable only harms you? This principle also empowers you to set healthy, loving boundaries. When family members repeatedly make demands on your time, energy, or resources that leave you feeling depleted, the dichotomy of control provides the framework for a compassionate no. You cannot control their neediness or their expectations, but you can control your response. You can lovingly communicate your limits, explaining that while you care deeply, your capacity is finite. This isn't selfish. It's a profound act of self-stewardship, ensuring you have enough left to give meaningfully rather than resentfully. The emotional release that comes from truly internalizing this principle is profound. It's like dropping a 1,000-pound weight you didn't even realize you were carrying. The anxiety that stems from trying to fix everyone, to solve every problem, to manage every outcome, begins to dissipate. You realize that your peace is not contingent on the perfect behavior of others, but on your own disciplined mind. You learn to observe family dramas without being drawn into their gravitational pull. You offer support from a place of genuine willingness rather than obligation or fear. This is the art of discernment, knowing the difference between what is yours to influence and what is not. It's a daily practice, a constant recalibration. When you feel the familiar tug of anxiety or frustration related to a family matter, pause. Ask yourself, is this within my control? If the answer is no, then your task is to let go, to accept, and to redirect your precious energy towards what truly is within your power, your own virtuous response, your own inner calm. This practice doesn't diminish your love, it purifies it, allowing it to flow freely without the burden of futile control. It is the first vital step towards reclaiming your energy and truly living your golden years with unshakable peace. Part 2. Cultivating unconditional acceptance, embracing amor. Fati in family life. Think of a master sculptor working with a block of raw, unyielding stone. They don't rail against the stone's inherent imperfections, its natural fissures, or its unique grain. Instead, they work with it, allowing its natural characteristics to inform the final masterpiece. They embrace the material for what it is, not what they wish it were. This profound acceptance, this active embrace of reality, is the essence of amor fati, love of fate. It's not passive resignation. It's an active, courageous affirmation of life as it unfolds, including the often messy, imperfect reality of our family lives. In the intricate tapestry of family, we often weave threads of idealization. We carry visions of what our children should be, how our siblings ought to behave, or how our family gatherings must unfold. When reality inevitably deviates from these cherished blueprints, we experience friction, disappointment, and often deep emotional pain. This resistance to what is a colossal drain on our energy. It's like constantly pushing against a closed door, hoping it will magically open to your perfect scenario. Amor fati invites us to release this resistance. It asks us to look at our family members with all their quirks, their flaws, their difficult habits, their past mistakes, and their current challenges, and say, "This is my family. This is the hand I've been dealt, and I choose to love it, not in spite of its imperfections, but as an integral part of its unique, complex beauty." This doesn't mean condoning harmful behavior or neglecting necessary boundaries, which we'll discuss later. It means accepting the reality of who they are, rather than constantly battling against an idealized version that exists only in your mind. Consider a family member who consistently struggles with financial instability despite your best advice and repeated assistance. Your natural inclination might be frustration, exasperation, or a desperate urge to fix them. Amor fati suggests a different path. You cannot force them to be financially responsible. You can offer support within your boundaries, but you must accept that their journey, their choices, and their inherent struggles are part of their fate. When you accept this, the emotional burden of trying to change the unchangeable lifts. You can then choose to respond from a place of calm acceptance rather than agitated frustration. Or perhaps you have a sibling with whom you've always had a strained relationship, marked by old rivalries or differing worldviews. For years, you might have wished they were different, more understanding, more agreeable. This constant wishing, this yearning for an altered reality, is a continuous drain. Amor fati encourages you to accept them as they are, their personality, their history, their limitations. This acceptance doesn't mean you have to be best friends, but it frees you from the emotional labor of perpetually trying to reshape them. You can then choose to engage on terms that preserve your peace, or to maintain a respectful distance without the internal conflict. This principle is particularly powerful when dealing with the inevitable changes that come with age, both your own and your family's. Perhaps a parent is experiencing cognitive decline, or a child is navigating a difficult divorce. These are painful realities. Resisting them, wishing they weren't happening, only amplifies the suffering. Amor fati calls for a courageous embrace of these circumstances. It's about finding strength in the face of adversity, seeking meaning even in the most challenging moments, and understanding that these experiences, however difficult, are part of the grand tapestry of life. The practice of amor fati is an act of profound self-compassion. When you stop fighting against the reality of your family, you stop fighting against yourself. The energy you once expended on resistance, on wishing, on lamenting, is now freed up. It can be redirected towards cultivating your own inner peace, pursuing your passions, or engaging in acts of genuine, unburdened love. It allows you to appreciate the good moments more fully, because you're not constantly comparing them to an unattainable ideal. This doesn't mean you stop loving or caring. On the contrary, it allows for a purer, less conditional form of love. When you accept someone for who they truly are, flaws and all, your love becomes more resilient, less prone to disappointment. You see them not as a project to be fixed, but as a unique individual to be understood and cherished. It's a love that says, "I see you, I accept you, and I will find a way to navigate our relationship with peace and integrity, regardless of how you choose to be." This unconditional acceptance is a cornerstone of Stoic tranquility, a powerful antidote to the emotional drain of family life, and a profound gift you give not only to your loved ones, but most importantly, to yourself. Part 3. The urgency of your own time. Memento mori as a boundary builder. Let's confront a truth that, while often uncomfortable, holds immense power. Memento mori. Remember that you will die. This isn't a morbid pronouncement. It's a profound Stoic invitation to live more fully, more intentionally, and with a keener appreciation for the finite nature of our existence. For those of us in our golden years, this truth resonates with a particular clarity. The sands in our personal hourglass are visibly flowing, and with each passing grain, the urgency of how we choose to spend our remaining moments becomes ever more apparent. This awareness, far from being a source of fear, becomes a powerful catalyst for reclaiming your energy and building necessary boundaries within your family. How often do we postpone our own desires, our own need for rest, our own pursuit of joy because of an endless stream of family demands? We tell ourselves, "I'll get to it later. I'll rest when this crisis is over," or "I'll pursue my passion once the kids are settled." But Memento Mori whispers a different truth. Later is not guaranteed. Once may never come. Your time, your energy, your capacity for joy, these are precious, finite resources. Consider the scenario where a family member consistently monopolizes your time with lengthy phone calls that devolve into complaints, or requests for favors that stretch your limits. Without the lens of Memento Mori, you might feel obligated to listen indefinitely, fearing you'd be seen as uncaring if you hung up or set a time limit. But when you truly internalize the preciousness of your finite moments, a new clarity emerges. You ask yourself, is this how I want to spend this irreplaceable hour of my life? Does this interaction genuinely nourish me or them, or is it simply a drain? This isn't about being selfish. It's about being a wise steward of your most valuable asset, your remaining time. This awareness empowers you to set boundaries with love, but also with conviction. You can say, "I love you and I want to support you, but I only have 15 minutes right now before I need to attend to something else." Or, "I can help with that, but I'm only available on Tuesdays between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. This isn't about being rigid, it's about being intentional. It's about recognizing that every yes to an external demand is a no to something else. Perhaps a no to your own rest, your own creative pursuit, your own quiet contemplation. Memento Mori urges you to make those yeses and nos conscious choices, aligned with your deepest values, rather than automatic reactions driven by obligation or fear. Think of the emotional burden of carrying others' anxieties. A child might constantly confide their worries, expecting you to absorb them. While empathy is vital, absorbing every worry without processing it becomes a heavy weight. Memento Mori prompts you to ask, is this constant absorption of worry serving my purpose? Is it allowing me to live fully, or is it dimming my own light? This doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you care wisely. You offer support, but you also protect your own mental space, understanding that your peace is a prerequisite for your ability to truly be there for others. This principle also encourages you to prioritize your own well-being and passions. If you've always dreamed of learning a new language, painting, spending more time in nature, or simply enjoying quiet solitude, Memento Mori serves as a powerful reminder. The time for these pursuits is now. Don't let the endless demands of others push your own life to the periphery. Your life, your precious remaining moments, are not merely a resource to be consumed by others' needs. They are a canvas for your continued growth, joy, and self-expression. The profound impact of Memento Mori on energy management is that it shifts your perspective from endless obligation to conscious prioritization. It helps you distinguish between genuine need and habitual demand. It gives you the courage to say, "My time is sacred, and I choose to invest it where it truly matters, for my own well-being and for the most meaningful connections." This isn't a retreat from family, it's a strategic deployment of your most valuable assets. It allows you to be a more vibrant, present and resilient presence for those you love, because you are nurturing your own flame rather than letting it flicker out under the weight of unexamined demands. It is the ultimate boundary builder, forged from the deepest understanding of life's precious brevity. Part 4. Proactive Serenity. Premeditatio malorum for anticipating family storms. Imagine a seasoned sailor scanning the horizon not just for fair winds, but for the subtle shifts in the sky, the distant clouds, the changes in the barometer. They don't wait for the storm to hit to prepare. They anticipate it, batten down the hatches, and chart a course through the turbulence. This foresight, this mental rehearsal of challenges, is the essence of the Stoic practice of premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. It sounds grim, perhaps, but it is, in fact, one of the most powerful tools for cultivating proactive serenity and safeguarding your emotional energy, especially when navigating the often unpredictable waters of family dynamics. This isn't about dwelling on negativity or inviting misfortune. On the contrary, it's about stripping away the element of surprise, which is often what amplifies our emotional reactions and drains our energy. When we are caught off guard by a family crisis, an unreasonable demand, or a familiar pattern of conflict, our immediate response is often reactive, emotional, and ultimately exhausting. Premeditatio malorum allows us to meet these challenges with composure because we have already mentally walked through them. Consider a recurring family event, perhaps a holiday gathering where certain topics inevitably lead to arguments, or where a particular family member always makes a comment that grates on your nerves. Instead of hoping this time will be different, a futile hope if history is any guide, the Stoic approach is to mentally prepare. What are the likely triggers? What difficult questions might arise? What challenging behaviors might you encounter? By anticipating these evils, you can mentally script your responses. For example, if you know a relative tends to criticize your life choices, instead of reacting with defensiveness or hurt in the moment, you can decide beforehand, if X says Y, I will calmly respond with Z, or I will simply acknowledge their comment and change the subject. This mental rehearsal doesn't make the situation disappear, but it equips you with a pre-planned, rational response, preventing the emotional hijack that often leads to energy depletion. You become the director of your own internal play, rather than a mere actor reacting to external cues. This practice is incredibly effective for managing expectations around family support. If you know a child is prone to asking for money, you can premeditate your boundary. Instead of being caught off guard and feeling pressured, you can decide, I will offer support up to this amount, or only if certain conditions are met, or I will gently decline. This pre-decision allows you to deliver your boundary with calm conviction rather than hesitation or guilt, which are both energy-sapping emotions. Think about the emotional toll of unexpected family crises. A sudden illness, a job loss, a relationship breakdown. While you cannot prevent these events, you can prepare your mind for the possibility of adversity. This doesn't mean living in fear, it means cultivating resilience. You might mentally consider, if X were to happen, what would be my immediate, rational steps? How would I offer support without sacrificing my own well-being? What resources do I have? This mental preparation builds a psychological buffer, making you less susceptible to panic and emotional overwhelm when the evil actually arrives. The beauty of premeditatio malorum is that it transforms potential stressors into opportunities for practice. Each anticipated challenge becomes a mental exercise in applying your Stoic principles. It strengthens your rational mind over your emotional impulses. It allows you to enter difficult conversations or situations not with dread, but with a quiet confidence, knowing you have already considered the worst-case scenario and prepared your virtuous response. The energy saved through this proactive approach is immense. You're no longer constantly bracing for impact, but rather you're strategically positioned to absorb it. The anxiety that comes from uncertainty diminishes. The exhaustion of reactive emotional outbursts is replaced by the calm strength of reasoned action. You become the steady anchor in your family's emotional storms, not because you're immune to feeling, but because you've consciously chosen to prepare your inner world for whatever external reality may bring. This is proactive serenity, a profound Stoic gift that allows you to navigate family life with grace, resilience, and an abundance of conserved energy. Part 5. Forging your inner sanctuary, the unassailable inner citadel. Imagine, if you will, an ancient fortress built on solid rock, its walls thick and unyielding, its gates strong, its interior a sanctuary of peace and order. Outside, the world may rage, storms may batter, armies may march, chaos may reign, but within its walls there is calm, security, and an unwavering sense of control. This powerful metaphor is the Stoic concept of the inner citadel, an unassailable fortress of peace and reason that you build within yourself, independent of external circumstances, especially the often turbulent dynamics of family life. This is the ultimate destination of our Stoic journey, the culmination of all the previous strategies. For too long, many of us have allowed our emotional well-being to be a hostage to external events, particularly the moods, demands, and dramas of our loved ones. If a child is happy, we are happy. If a sibling is upset, we are upset. If a family conflict erupts, our peace shatters. Our inner state becomes a mere reflection of the external world, leaving us vulnerable, reactive, and perpetually drained. The inner citadel is the antidote to this dependency. It is the realization that your deepest peace, your most profound sense of self, resides within you, accessible at any moment, regardless of what is happening outside your walls. How do we build this fortress? It is constructed brick by brick through the consistent application of Stoic virtues and principles. Each time you practice the dichotomy of control, releasing what is not yours to manage, you lay a foundation stone. Each moment you embrace amor fati, accepting the reality of your family with all its imperfections, you strengthen a wall. Every time you heed memento mori, prioritizing your precious time and setting wise boundaries, you fortify a gate. And with each instance of premeditatio malorum, preparing your mind for potential challenges, you sharpen your inner defenses. The inner citadel is not a place of isolation, but a place of strength from which you can engage with the world more effectively. When family demands threaten to overwhelm you, you don't flee. You retreat within yourself. You access your reason, your wisdom, your courage. You ask, what is truly within my control here? How can I respond virtuously? What is the wise course of action that preserves my integrity and peace? From this fortified position, your responses are no longer driven by fear, guilt, or obligation, but by conscious choice and profound inner calm. Consider a moment when a family member's negativity or anxiety threatens to engulf you. Instead of absorbing it, you can retreat to your inner citadel. You recognize their emotions as theirs, not yours. You can offer empathy, but you do not allow their emotional state to dictate your own. You become an anchor rather than another ship tossed in the storm. This doesn't mean you're unfeeling, it means you're unshakable. This fortress is also where you cultivate your core values: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. When faced with difficult family decisions, you consult these internal guides. Does this action align with my wisdom? Does it require courage to speak my truth? Is it just to myself and to others? Am I acting with temperance, avoiding excess or deficiency? By grounding your actions in these virtues, your choices become clear, your conscience remains clean, and your inner peace is preserved, regardless of external reactions. The profound benefit of the inner citadel is that it frees your energy from the constant need to react to external stimuli. You are no longer a leaf buffeted by every gust of wind from your family. Instead, you are the tree, deeply rooted, bending when necessary, but never breaking. Your happiness is no longer a fragile thing, dependent on the perfect behavior or constant approval of others. It becomes an internal state, a wellspring of contentment that flows from within. This is the ultimate freedom in your golden years, the freedom to be truly yourself, to live authentically, and to engage with your loved ones from a place of genuine strength and overflowing peace. You become a source of calm for your family, not a sponge for their anxieties. You are present, loving, and engaged, but always from a position of unassailable inner tranquility. The inner citadel is your lifelong project, your most valuable possession, and the key to ensuring your golden years are truly golden, filled with peace, purpose, and an abundance of energy that flows from within. Your golden years. Reimagined. We've journeyed through the ancient wisdom, exploring the powerful tools Stoicism offers. We've learned to discern what truly belongs to us, to embrace the imperfect tapestry of our family, to value our finite moments, and to prepare our minds for life's inevitable storms. Now, let's pause and visualize the profound transformation these practices ignite. This isn't just theory. This is the unveiling of a life truly lived, a future where your golden years are not just endured, but savored with purpose and peace. This is your key moment. Imagine a different morning. The phone rings, and instead of a familiar surge of dread or obligation, you feel a calm curiosity. It's a family member, recounting a new challenge, perhaps even expressing frustration. But this time, something is profoundly different within you. You listen, not with a racing heart, but with a settled mind. You engage, not with the burden of needing to fix everything, but with the clarity of knowing what is theirs to own and what is yours to influence. You offer support, if it aligns with your capacity and values, but without the internal conflict that once drained your spirit. There's no longer the agonizing guilt of saying no when yes would deplete you. Instead, there's a quiet strength, a gentle firmness that honors both your boundaries and your love. Think of those family gatherings that once felt like emotional minefields, the unspoken tensions, the predictable arguments, the overwhelming energy. Now, as you step into that space, you carry your inner citadel with you. You observe the dynamics, recognizing the givens of personalities and histories. Amor fati. You anticipate potential triggers, premeditatio malorum, and have already decided your measured, wise response. You don't try to control the entire atmosphere, but you master your own. You can laugh, you can listen, you can connect meaningfully, all while maintaining an internal sanctuary untouched by the external chaos. The joy you feel is authentic, not shadowed by underlying anxiety, because you are no longer a victim of circumstances, but the master of your own inner world. This profound shift liberates your energy, not just for others, but most importantly, for yourself. The hours you once spent worrying, replaying scenarios, or feeling drained are now reclaimed. Imagine redirecting that precious energy towards the passions you've long deferred, the hobbies that bring you genuine delight, the quiet moments of contemplation that nourish your soul. You are no longer merely reacting to life. You are actively, intentionally living it. The awareness of your finite time, memento mori, transforms from a somber thought into a powerful impetus for joy and purpose. Every morning becomes an invitation to choose how you will invest your invaluable moments, guided by your deepest values, not by external pressure. This is the climax of your Stoic journey. The moment you realize that your peace is no longer negotiable. It is not dependent on the perfect behavior of your children, the flawless dynamics of your extended family, or the absence of life's inevitable challenges. Your peace emanates from within, an unshakable wellspring fueled by wisdom, courage, and self-mastery. You become the serene eye of the storm, a source of calm for those around you, simply by being anchored in your own truth. This isn't about being aloof, it's about being profoundly present and loving, from a place of abundance rather than depletion. Your golden years, once shadowed by the burdens of others, are now brightly illuminated by your own sovereign light. This is your moment to truly shine. Conclusion. We've journeyed together through the profound wisdom of Stoicism, uncovering practical strategies to navigate the often complex emotional landscape of family life, especially in these precious golden years. We began by acknowledging the subtle yet significant drain on our energy that can come from even the most cherished relationships. It's a challenge many face, often silently, feeling the weight of unspoken expectations and endless demands. but you now hold the keys to a different way of living. We learned to practice the dichotomy of control, liberating ourselves by discerning what is truly within our power, our reactions, our choices, our boundaries, and gracefully releasing the futile struggle to control what is not. This single insight can lighten an enormous burden from your shoulders. We embraced amor fati, cultivating an unconditional acceptance of our family members as they are, flaws and all, rather than exhausting ourselves by battling against an idealized vision. This acceptance isn't indifference. It's a deeper, more resilient form of love that frees you from disappointment and allows for genuine connection. We confronted memento mori, remembering the precious, finite nature of our time. This powerful awareness transforms from a somber thought into a vibrant call to action, empowering you to set boundaries with purpose, prioritize your own well-being, and invest your invaluable moments in pursuits that genuinely nourish your soul. Your time is sacred, and this wisdom helps you honor it. And we explored premeditatio malorum, learning to anticipate potential family challenges not with dread, but with proactive serenity. By mentally rehearsing difficult conversations or preparing for recurring patterns, you equip yourself with composure and reasoned responses, preventing emotional hijackings and conserving vital energy. Finally, all these practices culminate in the forging of your inner citadel, an unshakable sanctuary of peace and reason within yourself. This internal fortress ensures that your tranquility is not dependent on external circumstances or the behavior of others. You become the master of your inner world, a steady anchor amidst life's inevitable storms. These aren't just abstract philosophical concepts. They are tangible tools for living a life of profound serenity, purpose, and enduring happiness. They allow you to be present, loving, and supportive to your family, not from a place of depletion, but from an overflowing well of inner strength. Embrace these Stoic principles and reclaim the peace and energy that are rightfully yours in this beautiful chapter of your life. You've embarked on a powerful journey today, exploring how ancient Stoic wisdom can transform the very fabric of your daily life, especially when navigating the intricate dynamics of family. The insights we've shared about the dichotomy of control, amor fati, memento mori, premeditatio malorum, and forging your inner citadel are not just ideas. They are pathways to a more serene, more resilient, and ultimately more joyful existence in your golden years. But this is just the beginning of your journey towards unshakable peace. The path of Stoicism is one of continuous learning and practice. We at the Stoic philosophy are dedicated to bringing you more of this timeless wisdom, practical guidance, and empowering insights to help you cultivate a mind that is strong, serene, and truly happy, no matter what life presents. So, if today's message resonated deeply with you, if you feel that quiet stirring of peace and empowerment, I invite you to take the next step. Dive deeper into the well of ancient wisdom by exploring our other videos here on the Stoic Philosophy channel. Each one is crafted to provide you with actionable strategies for building resilience and finding tranquility in a chaotic world. And to ensure you never miss a single piece of this transformative wisdom, please take a moment right now to subscribe to the Stoic Philosophy channel and hit that notification bell. Join our growing community of individuals committed to living with greater purpose, calm, and strength. Thank you for spending this precious time with us today. Your commitment to your own inner peace is a profound act of self-love, and it truly inspires us. May your days be filled with serenity, your heart with contentment, and your spirit with the unshakable peace that is your inherent right. We look forward to seeing you in our next video.
Thank you for watching this video here on the Stoic philosophy. If you found value in this, I invite you to explore more videos on the channel. There's so much more wisdom to uncover. And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the next one. Thanks again for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.